Yeah. Okay. So, and you know, actually, I was checking about the FME script that we
Hmm.
talked about yesterday, and in
Hmm.
fact, we didn't do any pre-treatment with FME on our side. All the
Really?
input data, yeah, all the input data was provided by Dima actually.
Okay.
So yeah, all those input layers, feelers, and all that. So maybe if there's an offset in the projection or something, that maybe you can check it
Reprojecting, that's it.
internally.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can check it
Yeah.
internally. I remember that for the roads, the road layer was very bad actually. The projection, I don't know where the data came from. So that's why I remember for the HLD part, I downloaded the data coming from OSM. So it was
Okay.
like the one you see here, you know, it's better. Uh
Yes.
yeah, so maybe that I can set it over that road. I think I did it for, or maybe I will share the link with you so you can download download the entire Israel.
Okay, please.
Okay. Yeah, right. Okay, so yeah, that's about it. Um do you know about FME or something, or have you ever used it, or
Never used it before.
okay.
But if you're saying, look, I've opened
Mm-hmm.
DWG from that we get from Bezek, and there's some uh, information, and there is some information which is completely not understandable,
Okay,
and
yeah.
and there are things that we need to do, to join different layers of text and
Mm-hmm.
points or text and lines together.
Mm-hmm.
And really, I don't know how to do that. Maybe Dima does.
Okay.
And I thought that if we can have a script on FME that does it automatically for us, because it's the same logic everywhere
Yeah.
in Basic, it would
Okay.
be excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a possibility. Yeah, okay. I'll have a look at that. You know, we have implemented also we have some experience with DWG. We have worked with several other projects, so it's kind of the same. Um, Although, well, uh, I'm not sure if it's that complicated because it was not directly a database from from an incumbent operator or something.
Mm-hmm.
But still, yeah, I think we can do something. You know, that software is very flexible. So yeah, I'm gonna have an internal chat with the people, and yeah, I will let you know.
Okay.
Yeah, so here uh so basically what we can see today, well, we have checked, we have configured the system like a typical architecture
Mm-hmm.
that you might use for greenfield areas. It's kind of the same principle with let's say with a brownfield, or if you're gonna use BESX infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I mean that there are different ways you can configure the system. For example, if you're working with both and you want to define previously which endpoints are served by any infrastructure, you might separate the endpoints in two supports: the ones served by BESX and the other one served by roads or new civils, right? So that depends
Okay.
on the architecture. Um, so another thing here is basically I have shown
So
you.
hang
Yeah,
on. So I will have two layer 10.
yeah, you can have more, well, several layer 10 containers, level 10 containers.
Okay.
So that's in the case, imagine that you previously define which endpoints are served by a specific infrastructure, so to speak, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's a possibility. Depending on the process, you can have several runs of star, taking one like I showed you for the neighborhoods 28 and 29. We got
Yes.
the different clusters. So we had three runs process, and we took the outputs from one run to as input for the other run. So that's Yeah, that depends on your architecture. Okay, so basically we have seen the how the HLD works, you know. So a configuration, you get the outputs, you analyze the VOQ and all that. And there's another stage, maybe in the future, after, well, you go to do some field survey or whatever, when you might want to modify your design.
Mhm.
So I, generally speaking, well, this is a project. It's when you try to work with you know, make manual modifications on the map, it's advisable to work with areas like this, you know, maybe 1000 endpoints up to 1.5 or 2000. You know, it's better to do it with in small areas. So what you do here in with the tools on the map is to modify. You can do several things. You can create nodes, modify the drop connections from, you know, one house to, or one node to the other. You can create infrastructure and all that. One thing to take into account generally when we do a detailed design is that the first run of setics, at least for this architecture, you see that we have placed rules for placing the clusters and connecting the houses, right? However, when you do a second run, once the nodes are placed, there are other elements that are in the network. So you have new interconnections like S2 to endpoints, S1 to endpoints to other infrastructures. So what the process that we follow is basically, imagine that you have an area, you run it the first time, you get your first network, and then you run the second time. And with this the second run, it's you consolidate the connections, and maybe you need to you need to give some tolerance to the rules. So let's gonna try. I haven't run the second time here, but this is like if you were importing you know, the second time is like if you were importing the nodes already as input data, because you have them already here. So
Okay.
if I run, maybe there are some values that will change, maybe not, but I don't think so. I don't think, because the nodes in general are very close, and I don't think we reach the maximum size of a 40 meters or something. I think most of them will be served. You see that now we have in the results some not served, this number and out of reach. These ones that were out of reach were consistent, were the same number as from the first run. But for the second one, we need to see why this is happening. I can check here, for example, in net endpoints. I'm gonna class my my nodes, my endpoints per connection status. Yeah, here. And yeah, I'm gonna try then to modify them manually. Yeah, so these green ones are supposed, okay, these ones are connected to a node. If I check this element, you see that I have it's connection 4. They are not connected to the network, but if I see the input, this is network endpoints, this is the input layer. Okay.
Yes.
So if I check the input layer, let me see where this one. Okay, if I see this input layer, you see that the parent node is S2 hashtag 61 or 61. So I'm gonna see where that node is. So I go to network nodes. This is that input layer. And I'm gonna select S2, right click, and general name. And I have 61 is this one. So if I have a look here, I have 51 meters. So that's in the first run, you build the clusters, you take into account the size it's like this. So you take into account first for the routing the size, and then respect the distance. But you see that there's here's 50. So in the first run, you basically do the clustering per size, right? And the second criteria is this one. So the node was already filled with 32 premises, and now that's how it created the clusters. How can you see that? The service area. If I select here in level 4, you have input. You see, so these are the nodes served by this cluster. But when you see network, you see that this is the actual network. This is eventually what you will export, right? So you have input and network. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to increase my distance because if I check here, these houses will be connected to this pole, as I understand, right?
Yes.
And all of them, maybe.
We probably want to put another box there and just pull a line.
Okay, so you will put another pole in this line, or you will build a pole somewhere here?
Either we build a pole, or yeah, we will build a pole somewhere in the middle and then drop them.
Okay, so we can do that. How to do that? Well, you could maybe let me know if this is something you will do. I could create in reusable pathways, new aerial. I will put my, okay, select here, create lines, points, lines, and polygons. Maybe I'll put it here. And I will connect it to this pole. Oh, well, I don't know if there's line of sight.
Assume there is.
Yeah, okay. So you see that actually here there's snapping. Yeah. Right, so this will help you. So it's here. Then right click, finish polyline, and you have your new aerial line. Okay.
Okay.
So
where's the pole?
Here. When you create a segment, you automatically create a punctual infrastructure and the line. So the punctual infrastructure in this case would be a pole.
Okay.
You see that if I select this this layer, well, you have default created, and in the support a new aerial. Okay. So if you have a look here in infrastructure and this container, you see that you have created manually or by the system. Yeah. So you have one element.
Okay.
So I have this, and I'm going to another thing is that in how can you know which poles you have I mean are there in as input layer? It's in this layer in when you finish your design and you export the data, this layer, pathway access structures. Here's where you have all your punctual infrastructure, chambers, poles, and all that.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create an SD2. I'm gonna put it here. And I'm gonna put a name. So maybe S2.
Manual.
Yeah, manual. And then 002. Because I think we created one yesterday. So
okay.
002. Right. So that's
you can't put something automatic there in the name?
No, when you create the manually, no.
Okay.
Okay. So I created my node, and what I'm gonna do, I'm going to select the endpoints that will be served by this pole. Maybe I need to check because there are 32. Maybe a good approach would be it's always
yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, always better to it's necessary to all these assignments and all that. You need to work with the input layers, and the input layers are network endpoints and network nodes. The group that is within network sections, these are outputs. These are like what you export in from star, you know, these layers.
Let me just put on mute because of
Okay.
the noise.
Right. So these layers that are here.
Please repeat the last minute because I was under
Okay.
attack.
Okay, no problem. So all the okay, so the these manual modifications and creation of nodes and assignment of parent nodes and all that, they're always on done on the input layers. So the input layers are, for example, this one, network nodes and network endpoints. You have another group called network sections, and well, they're the same names basically, but the group that are within network sections are output layers. So these are the layers once you run the system. So these are the same layers that you see when you check export, right? So you have these network endpoints and network nodes. So those are the layers that you see here in the network sections bundle. Okay. So I created my S2 here. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna select my apartments. So maybe a group, this group, right? So they're kind of small, but you see them here. And I'm going to assign the parent node here. So I select this tool, assign to parent node, and I'm gonna select one, drag and drop up to the point, right? The S2, right click, set as parent. And you see that when I see my polygon, input polygon, they are here now. The polygon is created, the input polygon. Although I haven't rerun the system yet, so it's not still part of the network. I can check, I'm gonna check also this here in input, right click, set label properties and premises to see if I need to be careful here, because remember that I have a limit of 32 per cluster. So this might be I mean, if I exceed the number, I should create perhaps another poll or put another S2 somewhere. So for the moment, it's fine. I'm gonna run it and see how it goes.
לא, אנחנו לקחנו את ההתליה הקבוצה.
Okay. So now they are connected. Yeah, so you see, they're all connected, cable 4. Yeah, so this is my distribution, right? So there's a, yeah, that's it. I can see also another thing that I wanted to show. So we have a limit for S2. I don't think we have a limit for S. Okay, no, we don't have a limit for S1, so that's not a problem, because if you have an upper limit, maximum number of terminations in S1, when you add nodes for S2 for a cluster, you have to check that as well, that you don't surpass the maximum number. Okay, so
if we surpass, I mean, it will add more, or it will throw an error, or what will happen?
yeah, it will. You will have another indication here, like it's not connected, not because of the same reason, but maybe because I think it's 6. Let me check in the user manual. This is important to show you. So support. I'm checking this. In English. Right, in the user manual, you have here in export network data, you have cables, network service, network endpoints. Network endpoints, you have the layers. Now, well, actually, it's here in the appendices. So you have architecture layers. Here's a description of all the attributes. So if you have a look here, network net nodes. Yeah, net nodes. It's the same, but net endpoints. You have here connection status. You see, for I think with V6, because you have endpoint cannot be connected to the requested node because the node has reached its maximum capacity.
Mhm.
Right. So you will have connection status 6.
Okay.
Right. So good. So we have here our node. And if we have a look at the results, now we have 195 that are not served. So, well, we can continue, making our modifications here. Perhaps you will do the same here, right?
Yeah, or look in the middle between the two roads. We have a lot that are unconnected in the middle.
Yes, here, right?
No, to the right. Yeah, over
Oh,
here.
yeah. Okay, so what should we do here?
Put in the middle there. Just let's add from S to 65. Let's from S64. Let's run another link over here. Yeah.
Okay. Right, so I'm gonna do that. New aerial, the linear layer, create. So here. So from here to here, right click, finish polyline. And I'm gonna also do it directly here. So from this pole, another one here.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna create here one S2. So this is called
Number 3.
yes, S2 M03, for example.
003. Okay. No.
Yeah. Okay, select. Did I put the name? Yeah, I did. Okay, so now maybe I will use this as a layer. Well, I'll try to connect as many as possible, right? Well, there's no line of sight here, but well,
it doesn't matter.
Okay. So I select apartment. I select these ones. You see here, 7 features selected. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we have reached, yeah, it's very likely that we have reached our maximum capacity. But yeah, for the sake of the example, I select control and select the other ones. Now I have 14. And I select this tool, assign to parent node, drag and drop, right click, set as parent. Right, so you see that now all the 14, they have, this is the parent node. So I'm gonna run it. And yeah, unless there are single dwelling units, which I doubt, the node will be full. Right, you see, some of them are not served.
Yeah.
So What is the option? Should we put another pole here?
No, we have to add another S number 4, S2 number 4 on the same pole.
On the same pole, it's possible. Okay. So I'm gonna create another one here. These two create points. And I'm gonna put the name. So S2. Maybe, well, what I can do, I'm gonna select this one. You have two features selected, right click. This is the one that has a name. So I'm gonna copy, right?
Yeah.
And then S1 name, paste.
And
So
S2 on this one.
yeah, so 004, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm gonna select maybe, okay, I'm gonna do two things. I'm going to maybe the ones that are on the south
Yeah.
to put it to S3 and these ones to S4.
Okay.
So I'm gonna select them here. Assign to parent node, right click, set as parent, and you have two options because they're overlapping. So I'm gonna select this one.
Okay.
And you see, let's check the input. The input, you see that these are as well, but this one, this circle, that means this is empty. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna assign these ones plus this one here. Assign to parent node, drag and drop, right click, set as parent is 4, this one. You see that now I have the polygons are reshaped.
Okay.
So I run it. And I should have my network. Okay, I might have surpassed the distance. Yes, 56, you see here? 56 meters.
So
56.
just add the increase it to 60.
Okay, good. So if I do that, I need to do it here in S2 placement. Oh, no, so 60. Okay. And I run it again. Right, so you understand, you get the logic, right? Good.
Running still, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, still, these are 4. I'm gonna save it.
That's fine, yeah.
Okay. So, that's basically the process that you follow to create polls and nodes.
Now assume that I want to create a trench somewhere.
A trench. Well, if that's the case, I would have another support. Okay, so that's let's say that for detailed design and you want for high level design, you have only these two infrastructures, but if for detailed design you want to add a trench, I would create this pathway support. Okay, maybe I'll call it here trench, and I can start putting my like all the details, like would be underground, right? To build. What else? Cost. So this is more expensive, right?
Yes.
So
Unit
maybe,
50.
yeah, maybe we can put 80,
No, I'll put 150.
150. Okay. Okay. And the topology, these are the values by default. So this is for transitions from a pole to a potential chamber. And here from BESX to a new trench by default. This. So, okay. I'm gonna close the map because I want my new symbology. And map again. Actually, what you can do in a configuration is to already have this support. Even, I mean, and it could be an empty support, right? So you wouldn't load any data here, and even though it's there, you won't use it for the first run or for the HLD. Perhaps it's more for detailed design if you want.
Mhm.
So okay, let's gonna select an area, maybe here. So network sections. Okay, maybe this area here, right? To build something. What would you do in this case for this group? Let's say.
Hang on, just let me. I have something I need to go for my screen.
Mhm.
Yes, and link. Where are we? Let's say that I want to run a trench. I just want to see if we can. Just a minute. Let's say that I want to run a trench.
Demise here. Yeah.
Like this. To connect and then connect to the other side.
Okay, to BSX infrastructure, right?
Yeah, and then I want to add another trench to connect over here. This area, this area. Okay.
Okay. Right. So, well, so let's draw it. So we have here reusable pathways, trench. Maybe I'll change the color because being aerial, it's a bit difficult. So I'll put it in, I don't know, red perhaps. So, okay. And I'm going to draw this. So maybe directly from this point.
Yes.
So we do this. So you maybe, well, it's up to you to create new chambers. I'm gonna draw it, and then we can do something to create the chambers. So like this, like this, right?
Yes. And then connect also to the blue line at the bottom left.
Okay. Right. So I'm gonna do this. Right click, finish polyline. So you see I have one segment. Now to connect this blue line, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a chamber, a point here, right? Because if I need to connect it somewhere to this one that I created, so I have my new trench. I select this tool, split pathways, and I'm gonna put it here. Right. So I click once for selecting the segment, another one for creating the location where I want to split, then right click, split line. And you see that now I have created a punctual infrastructure type. Yeah, 1 second. So I'm gonna do this quickly. Maybe red. And this one, like this. Well, it's not that good. Yeah, that's better, I think. So if I check this, I have one segment here, another segment there. So I'm gonna create this new trench. So from here and directly to the pole. Okay. So
You connect the segment? Yeah, they're connected. They're connected now.
it's not connected. It's
We don't have a fixture there. We don't have an element.
no, we don't have any any optical element. It's only the infrastructure. Now,
Now where you have now the mouse, let's break it there, and add another split line and put a pole.
okay. Right. Okay, so you want to place a like a drop pole and then go underground. Okay. So I break it here. Split lines here. Split line.
Yes.
And I'm gonna put a pole. So for putting a pole here, I need to select this new aerial, create points. And I'm going to create here this tiny segment like this. Because for creating, you can create in this version 2.3, you can create lines. But in version 2.4 that we will release this year, pretty soon, you can create a punctual infrastructure. But for the moment, this is the process, right? So I create these points, this little segment, and by default, when you create a segment, you have two points in the extremes. So the thing is, here you want to connect it to this pole, right? All these houses.
Yes. Yes.
Good. So the process is the following. I select here first this punctual infrastructure. In this side, I say this is, remember that when I define my infrastructure and I have this punctual infrastructure, these are the points generated automatically by the system, and even after the split every 25 or 30 meters, don't remember. Yeah. So here in the settings, I put by default that I want to have equipment and connections. But for this particular case, I want to connect it to the actual pole that is here. Right? So I'm gonna do the following: available capacity 0 and connection point 0. So that's like a fake point. And okay, this point is it's okay, it's 1. So now I did this. I'm gonna create now my S2, right? So S2 here, and I put here S2M005, right?
Yes.
Okay. Good. Now I'm gonna select well, I don't think that these are too far, but anyway. Network endpoints. I select these ones.
You have some more.
Yeah, you're right. Assign to parent node. Maybe these are further than 60 meters, but we'll see. Set as parent. you have this. Now let's gonna check for a moment the number of premises. So I select here input, right click, premises. So this has 48. So that's gonna be, should I create another one here or put another here?
Create another one. Yeah, put another one there. Yeah. Sure.
Okay. So create. Okay, and name S2 M006. Right, so I select my endpoints. Maybe these ones. Assign to parent node. Right click, set as parent. And 32, yeah, that's perfect. So yeah, that was that was lucky. So I run it and let's see. Yeah. So yes, I have my notes. So that's good. You see that even for the cabling, if you want to put specific rules, you can add them, you know, like for distribution or whatever. In this case, for this new project. Okay, so we added this. Maybe I will show you something else. This seems a good example.
Do we do save every once in a while?
Yep, good idea. The things, remember, just as the process, you save the manual things you do or all these calculations. Okay. So I want to see something.
Regarding the endpoints which are in the cluster but are not connected, are they being considered in the size of the splitter, or are they excluded from the calculation?
They are. I mean, when you create the clustering in the first run, they are present, but the splitters are created afterwards, after you run and you have the optical elements. So you imagine you have the cluster, and the cluster is 32 premises, but you have 16 connected. You will place a splitter of 1 to 16. But if you put the right rules, then you adjust the distances and all that, and you rerun it, and you have 32 connected, it will change for 116 to 132.
The fact that you see, Alex, you see the in the cluster that are not connected, it's because we put at the beginning not more than 50 meters, or more than 60 meters from the
cable,
from the box, and this is longer.
But
you see,
cluster.
It created the cluster, yes.
Right.
Because
you see this cluster?
Yes.
For example, you have 20 premises, but there are actually, if we have a look here at this network, premises, you have 8. So let's see which splitter is here. Network sections. So I selected. I have one feature, and the splitter is 1 to 8. You see, so it's only the splitters that are connected.
Although there are 20 apartments there.
Yeah. So what we can do? Yeah. So let's modify this this node, right? So yeah, maybe I will show you another thing here, because
I'll tell you why, because I'm thinking in terms of practical
deployment.
deployment. I
Mhm.
want to have enough redundancy to cover everything, but I don't want to cover them in day one.
You don't want to cover?
I don't want to take all the 8 lines that we do here.
Mm-hmm.
I will deploy those lines when I get an order.
אבל אתה צריך את הספליטרים בפנים, אלכס. נכון, אתה צריך ספליטר של 16 או של 20.
Yeah.
יותר, אבל אתה צריך, מה שאתה אומר שאתה, you're saying that you're putting on an, you don't want to put all 16 there.
Mm-hmm.
That's from my perspective, we need to get coverage, okay? And I need to get coverage based on what we reported to the Ministry of Communication. And they are going to check how many ports we have in the box.
I agree.
Okay,
I
so
want to have the ports, but I don't want to have the cable.
yeah, you will have everything. You will have everything because you're going to do one round of deployment, not two.
This is a drop. We are not doing it at the moment.
Alex, you are doing the full deployment, the full design.
Yes.
This is a drop, yes, but if the drop is too long, okay, but you need to still have coverage, okay, then you will have to add another box probably on that house, okay, and connect it to get the coverage that is needed.
Another.
But it's not part of the street pass, this is part of the drop.
It becomes a part of the street pass.
Why?
Because you need the coverage.
Yeah. Another thing that you might evaluate, depending on your rules, is that you can actually dimension the splitters. So, for example, in this dimensioning part, you can dimension the splitters with some reserve, some ports, you know?
Okay, how?
So you put here, like this is 100%, that means that you will cover the splitters 100%. If you put, for example, 120, that's you will dimension 20% of the ports for each splitter. Or you can dimension for, yeah, the upstream use, well, this is for the splitters, this is for the used fibers. You can put some reserve. Here, I think I need to remember, there was a formula for this. I need to remember, but I will check the formula for putting here, and I'll send it over to you.
Hover over the eye, maybe you have it there, when you have the black information on the right.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the percentage is let me see if I have it here.
Probably the percentage is that sometimes we need 50%, sometimes we need 100%.
No.
I prefer that the splitter is dimensioned according to the full number of apartments, even if we did not connect them physically in the drawing, in the cell. So as long as the cluster has, let's say, 20 apartments, I want to have at least 20 ports on the S2.
Yeah, this is 100 times 10. Yeah, I remember I used these ones. I don't know if in this version is like the case, but yeah, I mean, if you want to, well, 100%. And yeah.
If I want to leave 20% free, reserved, then I have to put 125.
I don't remember. I don't think it's like this. Let me ask Luke, one second. Là, je me rappelle que il y avait, on a 5%, mais par exemple, si je veux avoir 20% de réserve sur le port, c'est pas 120%, n'est-ce pas?
C'est 80.
C'est 80?
Je sais pas.
Another problem.
Dans le
Parce-
doute, moi, je te dirais 80 en me disant tu as 20% que tu gardes justement non utilisé.
Mais non,
Mais je suis pas
mais
sûr.
non, je sais pas.
Moi, j'ai jamais touché à ces paramètres-là.
Donc, c'est 4. OK, si tu mets 80%, ça veut dire que...
Bah, tu utilises 80% et tu as 20%
D'accord.
que tu n'utilises pas.
D'accord, donc
Pour
le...
moi.
Oui, d'accord. Je me rappelle que c'était Eric qui m'a dit ça, donc je vais mettre 40 et 80. Et je vais regarder.
Ouais.
OK, merci.
Et j'ai pas touché à ces paramètres-là et je sais
Oui.
pas le bon. Mais
Parce que c'est vraiment contre-intuitif. Je me rappelle.
non.
C'est contre-intuitif, oui.
Et c'est un peu mal écrit, je te l'accorde.
OK,
Mais c'est un petit comme ça.
d'accord.
Vous en avez une color.
Okay, guys, let's see. Yeah. So 80%, because if I want to have 20%, I need to put here 80% of the splitters.
Okay.
And if I run it,
We're gonna have a whole new story before us.
what? So we have here still we have 20 for this one, and but connected there are there are 8. So let's see our splitter. There's 1 to 8. There's
to 8.
1 to 8.
1 to
One.
8, and you have 8 connected, so you are on 100% utilization.
Yeah. Yes.
You probably needed to delete something and recalculate.
Yeah, you really put 80%. Well, okay, I'm gonna write that down, and I'll promise that I'll have an answer. Okay.
Okay. Hang on for a minute.
Mhm.
When you're looking at dimensioning of spare fiber,
Mhm.
okay, this is something that is very critical to me.
Yes.
Can you explain to me the different, I don't know, options there?
Yeah. So, for example, if you have here reuse of downstream spare fiber, so that means imagine you have here this level S2. Downstream would be the ones that come to the endpoints.
Yes.
So if you have put some already reserved in the endpoints, and you here, if you select reuse fibers, that means that you will take into account the spare fibers that you left for the endpoints. If you say ignore fibers, it's like if you ignore the fibers that are considered for the drop, right?
So in the calculation, if I put on the red line, I put 4 fibers. How will reuse fiber change the plan?
Because you will take this as input also for calculating the fiber need in S4. For example, here, if you see, the number of upstream spare fibers will be the number of downstream spare fibers, right? So that's, imagine if you have 4, you will have 4 here.
Okay.
Okay.
And if we ignore,
will be 0. You don't take into account the spare fibers that are left in this node.
Okay.
However, there are other options because you can use this options here. So downstream used fibers, So imagine that you have an endpoint. You have here a node with, let's say an S2. I'm gonna put in red to be consistent. I have an S2, and here I connect the drops, and I have a building of 4 apartments. I use 4 fibers. So even if I use a cable of 8 fibers, but I use actually 4, and for this endpoint I use 2, for example, I will have a reserve of 6 because I am using 6 fibers.
Okay.
Right.
And this is for upstream.
You're right. So this is downstream use fibers. My bad. So this is this option. Downstream used fibers.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you have here downstream used and spare fibers, so that's all the fibers. Not all the fibers in the cable, because not necessarily. You can have, for example, imagine a cable of 8 fibers.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a building with 8 apartments. Let's put 5 apartments, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But you define that for a cable of 8 fibers, you want to have 1 spare fiber. That means that because there are 5 apartments here, you are using 5 fibers for this apartment. So there's 5 fibers. Let's say here there are wait. There are 5 used fibers. Come on.
Okay. 5 used, 2 spare, 1 spare, and 2 free.
Exactly. So there are 5 used fibers, 1 spare fiber, and 2 non-used fibers, 2 free.
Okay.
So here you will have downstream used and spare fibers. These ones.
Okay.
Okay.
אתה יודע מה יקרה עכשיו. אני אכניס את החוקים האלה, פתאום אנחנו מקבלים קווים של 144.
Here is downstream terminations. So this is aggregated. That's the number of premises. So for example, you will have here 5 fibers because you have 5 apartments. So in this node, you will have 5.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the number of points. So because you can have a cluster with 1, 2, 3 points, no matter how many apartments inside. So you will count the number of points.
This is for risers, for example, if I go into rising buildings, right?
Depends. Because, well, depends. If you have 5, well, depends, because if it's a drop, sometimes the drop cables are the non-used fibers are not considered in the calculation, but they are there just in case there's a broken fiber, right? Because it's easier to take another fiber than put in another cable, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And you might want to use a cable at least of 2 fibers that reach each apartment, 2F, reach each apartment. Right? So imagine you have 1, 2, 3. Oh, them. You have a building 1, 2, 3. Mm-hmm. You might want to have a cable that goes here of 2 fibers, another cable of 2 fibers, another cable of 2 fibers. But in theory, I mean, when you say terminations, you will have in your box, you will have 3 spare fibers because the number of apartments are 3.
Okay.
But the cable is 2F.
Okay.
If the cable is 2F, that means that if there's a broken fiber or something, the technician should only select the other fiber and not put another one. So it's I think it's less expensive.
Okay, and where do I define that I want for every endpoint 2 fibers?
You select here the cable. You select here 2F. So you know when you have these 2F, you have 2 fibers, but you actually use one fiber.
I see.
Mhm.
Okay, good.
So that's exactly. Another thing, well, okay, so let's say that you have one unit and you have a cable of 2 fibers, you select one. But if not, if you want to use a fiber, you might put here in dimensioning. I would put here 100% because it's 100% of reserve of the used fibers. So if you're using one fiber for an apartment and you put 100%, you will put a cable of 2F. If you have an apartment, because if you have a building with two premises, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, if you put a cable of 2F, both will be used. But if you put here 100%,
You have to take the 6 fiber because that's the next one in line.
yeah, exactly. Unless you have a 4F fiber, but yeah, you will take 6 because that's in your database.
Clear. Okay.
It's cheaper to put one cable of 6 fibers than 3 of or 2 of 2. So yeah. Yes.
Of course. Okay. And then,
If you have do you have rules for the spare fibers in each node?
for level 10, the rule is 100%.
Okay. So let's do that. Okay. So if we do this and we run, okay, so let's select this cable, for example. I have okay, I have here 4 premises. And I select the cable. So I have 4 fibers and I have a cable of 12.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of having a cable of 6, a cable of 12.
Yeah.
Okay. Spare fibers 8. And you see here, this is spare fiber need. So if I have 4 use fibers, I need 4 spare, and these are the real spare.
Yeah, I mean, sure. It's
Okay.
clear.
Good.
Now, going up.
Ça s'appelait clé de facturation.
Okay. Now, humor me for one sec. When you are looking now at exactly where you are, let me just take for a minute.
Go ahead.
Where do I do that? I'm thinking this is the annotation. Yeah. I think, let's say that I want to connect. No. Yeah. I want to connect. Where is my? I want to connect from here to here to here. Then go over around the house to here and around the house to here. Okay, and this is based on wall-based connections where we are running the how do you call it facade?
Okay. Yeah.
So let's let's see what we do here.
So okay, let's this is new. Let's see. I have an idea. So I will create a new support called facade. Okay. Okay.
Marché 1, il y en avait très peu. Il y avait genre 2 types de NRO en fonction de la taille. Plein de NRO qui...
I'm gonna close the well, save it.
Mais NRH, je crois que je l'ai jamais vu.
And I'm gonna
On
close the
commençait à
symbology,
deux.
the map,
C'est pareil.
to have my new symbology.
C'est pareil que vous.
Right. So from this building, right?
Prédéo, vidéo, validé, elle était là.
Okay. 50. Yeah. So I'm gonna create this infrastructure. Can you? Okay, so from here, I forgot it was from this endpoint, right? To here.
It was to the green first, and then to the red, and then to the green.
Okay. So, well, yeah, this is I delete. So from here to here, right?
No, from here to the closest green. No, to the closest green on the left. Yes, and then to the red, and then to the green.
Wait, so I'm gonna do this first. Right click, finish polyline, because I want to create the point. And if you have a look here.
Si, c'est complètement chiant. C'est exactement ce qu'il y a sur le marché 1. Et c'est une misère sans nom. Tout à fait. Et alors, du coup, juste...
Now I'm gonna create another one from here. Network sections. To here. Finish polyline. From here to here, right?
Et du coup, sur la
Yes.
validation...
And then here to here.
Une facture à 100% direct, ou est-ce qu'ils font aussi pourquoi pour la facturation des études.
Like this.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
And where do you want to put the node?
Where do I want to put the node? At the beginning.
Here.
On the blue, yeah.
Okay. So network nodes. Here, and I write S2M07, I think. Let's see. I'm gonna select my endpoints now.
Il y a encore des embals avec deux.
I have 8 assigned to parent node. Right click, send as parent. Let me see how many endpoints I have. $24, that's fine. And I want to connect this to Yeah, it should be possible. If not, well, I might need to create another infrastructure here. Okay, let's see. I run it. Yeah, that's it. So if we analyze network,
Et il n'y a pas de minimum, c'est-à-dire que s'ils ont
I
fait
have-
1% d'avancement, ils peuvent faire 1% de 65%. C'est ça, d'accord.
yeah, it's for cables, for fibers actually, for cables. So they're connected to here. And if I select this node, I have one feature, which is a cable of 12.
Yeah.
One fiber, that's fine. And I should have maybe a vertical cable. You have this. This is the distribution. And this is the vertical one, to that building.
Okay.
And you have these ones. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So how many cables do we have altogether there?
There are 5. Because you have this endpoint, 1, 2, 3,
Not
4,
logical.
5.
Not logical. Maybe we need to bring into that junction another box.
Okay, what would you do here?
Sorry?
Do you
Can we see the split over there?
here?
Yes, can I see the split over there?
One to 32.
My point is that I have 5 cables of 12 running to different points where I would have expected less.
Yeah, these are point to point. So
yeah.
Okay. What would you like to do? To have one cable spliced where?
Here, exactly.
Here.
Yeah, I mean, I just had another box for just connecting drops, and that's it.
Okay, so let's see.
Est-ce que tu vérifies des montants?
So I'm going to
Des quantités, genre, pays ou-
put here net splice closure,
D'accord, donc, parce que là, tu as le prix unitaire.
create.
C'est pas ça que. Enfin, toi, tu regardes vraiment par parce que en prix
Um,
unitaire, il change selon les
So when I
prix.
do create, here I have potential locations to places closures. Okay.
Les prises et
Let me see
les
something
horaires,
first. Cabling,
okay.
level 10. Okay, I need to put in level 10 a model or models, right?
Okay.
So let's put this 38. And
Okay.
I enable here this midspan or branch joint. Okay, so I go back, put here in net splice closures, create. I put, so change an existing fork to a joint. So, fork is like a star. A star,
Yes.
yeah, connection. So I'm gonna put a joint. And now it's placed here.
Ah oui.
So let's see how it works.
Tu vas jusqu'à 65%.
So-
En fait, tu as 5% de plus quand ton PDO est validé. Et après, tu as 20%
I have
de plus
3.
quand ton PDO est validé. D'accord, ok.
I have one. Okay, so that's it. 3 here, that means 1 cable. So yeah, there's one cable here.
65, 70,
There are 3 cables, and all of them are split here. 3 cables through this line.
Ouais, et
Plus,
après,
you
c'est
have
très formidable.
this-
Que pour le loading.
You have this one that is coming to this point you know, this house is going here, and there are 3 cables that come from this closure to this point. And the reason is that maybe the maximum cable you have here is 12.
If we would have had 8, it would have changed.
Est-ce que tu peux zoomer
8.
Right. Let's try.
Not really, because if you have 8, you will have even more. How many fibers?
Okay, yeah, I understand.
So let's see something. So you have, I have here, how many endpoints?
What did you press?
This. So I net endpoints, select. I selected these endpoints here. They have
Okay.
4 features. As they are multiple and they don't share all the attributes, I open the attribute table.
Okay, I understand.
Right, so here I can see premises. So I should have a cable of 12 and 100% of used fibers. So maybe a cable of 24. No, a cable of 36 fibers. Right? Because I have 16 premises plus, remember we put 100% of reserve, that would be 32 fibers. I need a cable of 36. I think that's the next one, to have a single cable here. You see?
Yeah, because we put the splitter in the wrong place. If you bring the splitter first into the center, then it will change, right?
Yes. You will have maybe here 1 drop cables, and maybe here 2 cables.
Or 1 cable we pass through.
If we put the splitter here, let's try it. So I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna take this S2.
What I'm looking here is to see if we have reuse of a deployed cable for going forward and going backward with the drop. So we use that fiber for connectivity. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean this fiber is level 3. This is distribution.
Yes.
And these are level 10, these fibers. So what happens if you put here the node, you will have a cable of level 4, right? Distribution till here. And you will have 2 cables, point-to-point cables here and here to reach this node.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. The logic is not working with me. But probably this is because if we had done this manually, okay, then I would have taken, from the distribution, I would have used, a tube that is going through a splice box in the distribution for connecting drop cables as well.
Yeah, the issue here is that you cannot use the same cable for 2 different levels. Plus the splitters inside, yeah, that you need a cable per level.
And we cannot join levels on the same cable?
Levels on the same cable, no. But good news is that the new version, this year, will take this into account. So maybe it's a temporary solution for you, this part.
I mean, this is extremely important for me, especially when I'm doing a design. And if I have spares, and you remember that you cannot use more than 1 cable on a route, and
Okay.
I will have a lot of manual updates afterwards in order to create the back and forth splicing.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that would be automated when you put the multi-level cables. Do you have that is helpful for us? Do you have a description on the fiber, how the fibers will be? For example, tube 1, 2, and 3 would be for feeder. The 1 and 2, or the 3 for distribution, and the last one for drops? Do you have this description, or is it like random assignment, or how you find in the cable?
No, we will use the last tube for spare always.
Okay.
Above it, the n-1, n-2 would be for drops or distribution.
Okay.
The first ones, where the blue, the orange, it's for feeder.
Okay. Last. Okay, I'm gonna write it down.
Pay attention. This is for you as well.
Yes, I'm writing that down. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know, maybe here the option would be to put enable a cable, of 36. I don't know if that's something you'd like to do. And here in this closure, you'll have the drops spliced for cable 36, and then you reach this node.
And I have the splitter there. Okay, understood.
Yeah.
Let's do a run.
Yeah, so let me add this 36
and 24.
Yep. Okay. So we have 1. Yeah, 36. Okay. And you have here, well, the drops. So this is I think it's 12. Yep. 12 fibers. 12 and 12. And the closure here is yeah, this is capacity, so yeah, it's 24.
Okay.
Because yeah, you have 24 splices, and the spare fibers are not spliced, so yeah.
Okay.
And I save it.
Now suppose that I want to have a report just on that specific polygon.
A report on that specific polygon. You mean the BOQ or something, or only the splice length?
Optical and the cable part, or whatever way the name is.
For the spliced band, you can have it, because well, you see that you have a sheet per closure, but for the BOQ, it's not individual, so that's that would be subject to a specific BOM. We produce by default the BOQ of the entire network.
And I cannot just select part of it and say, okay, this is my network.
No, that's not. That's subject to a specific BOM. Yeah, there are ways we can get that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's not by default in the software. This is part of the phaser tool discussion and all that. So that's a way we can do it. We usually do it actually when there's a specific report for some areas or something. Yeah. So okay. I'm gonna write that down.
Alors là, il se facture au réel. Non, pas du BC, là, parce en fait, il y a le BC, il est à 2050.
Because we will have in the city.
Notre BC, il est à 2300.
Let's say the big city is 30.
The reason I'm saying that is the way it is working with the subcontractors here.
Yeah.
is that you give them a polygon per day.
A polygon a day. Okay.
Polygon or 2 polygons or 3 polygons per day to do the drops.
Parce que, donc du coup, ça veut dire que
Right.
c'est
So
pas
you mean
très
S2 level. You give them 2. Okay.
So I need to be able to break this down
Mhm.
into work packages, you know, per day, per whatever.
Oui,
And,
mais oui, c'est la
thought
quantité
through the
d'exés, mais c'est
system
pas
here,
forcément la
then
quantité réellement faite sur
we
les
have to
travaux.
create something.
On a dit que c'est pas
And
grave,
what do you give them? The splice plans. What else?
Yeah. Splice plan, the drop plan, you know, where you even have on the endpoint, you have the addresses, sometimes even you have names.
Yeah.
Ah, d'accord. Mais ça marche dans un
Okay.
sens, mais ça marche
Okay.
pas dans l'autre.
So
No, but
splice
they-
cabling diagrams, addresses, names, and obviously you give them. Do they? How do you? Do they use a map or something? You also deliver the polygons, and the shape files or something?
Oui, mais du coup, je croyais que c'était
Sometimes we
genre,
print
ils étaient
them,
des fois, ils peuvent vendre
we
des
just
fois,
print them the
alors
map
que des
with the
fois,
polygons on them.
Mhm.
Hein?
Sometimes we give shape files, yeah, but usually it's a
En
PDF
travaux,
that is being
sont censés
sent to
facturer
their mobile
que
phone.
ce qu'ils déploient,
Okay.
et pas plus que les grilles. Oui, ça, oui, je sais.
And we send
Dans
them
la
an
vraie
Excel
vie,
with
voilà, on verra ce qui se passe. Mais,
splice plan and the cable rope.
ouais. Mais
Okay.
du coup, c'est
So the cable
au
routes
max,
from the
c'est comme
S2 to the house, or even the distribution up to the S1 or all that.
I mean, it depends, but
Okay.
sometimes the
Et du coup,
distribution of the feeder
pour
as
le
well.
linéaire,
Okay. Okay. Good.
pour le linéaire,
Yeah, that's. I've noted that.
c'est
Mhm.
pareil.
By the
Okay.
way, this is something that can be generated from
Ils
Lepton
peuvent facturer jusqu'à
if
ce
the data is
linéaire-là,
inside.
mais ils ne facturent
Okay,
que
so if you
ce
import this
linéaire.
directly into Lepton, you can filter this info. Okay.
Now, let's say that I want to
D'accord.
import this into Lepton.
Mhm.
So I need to have different layers when we do the export.
Yeah.
And
Parce que-
let's say that I want now to export just the feeder cables.
Mais alors, du coup, alors, ce que je comprends pas, c'est
Right.
ça sert à
So
quoi?
if you want
Parce
to
que
export
ça va servir
the
à quoi?
feeder,
Parce que
yeah.
ils sont censés pas
The parts
faire
and
que
the-
ce qu'il y a dans les
So
lignes.
there's here there's a network pathway
Les prises, non, mais pour les-
where you have the feeder and the distribution.
Okay.
But if you want to import
entre les travaux,
these are the pathways, but the nodes, you might import only the filter, the layer net nodes up to level 4.
d'accord. Mais après,
Yeah, you told me, yes.
Right. So for example, if it's feeder up to level 3, I would say, because we have up to level 3. If I select, for example, net nodes, select all, right, I have 199 nodes.
Okay.
I would put here level 3. So that's the feeder part. I have, well, which is basically the same location, because they're located in the same on the pub location, right?
Okay.
But well, if you include level, let's say only distribution, would be from level 3 to level 4. Right. So yeah, the parent node would be level 3 for these nodes.
Okay.
Okay. And the same goes for net pathways. I think yeah, net pathways, you have the feeder, it's only one entity, but you see that in the feeder part, I have my pub, my SC, and my S1,
Yes.
right? Unless you want to move them, but this is how they were created by default. And yeah. Another thing, if you want to import the network into Lepton, and a good, let's say a correct import, you need to would be great if you can import the fiber connectivity, because that this is a report that gives you the info of the the fibers that go to each port in the closure or the cabinet or all that.
Mhm.
If you import layer by layer, it's like, well, like you do with QGIS, right? You import the layers, they have no link between each other, but this is
Correct.
the report that is important for the fiber connections, this one.
Okay, can we export the fiber connectivity?
Yep.
And the fiber connectivity is being exported as what? As Excel, as shape?
I will show you. Maybe I can show you I think, yeah, we exported it yesterday, so give me a second. So
זה אקספורט של פורמט של אינטרצ'יינג' דאטה עם מערכות אחרות, API basic.
right.
Okay.
So it's a CSV file. So you have, for example, connection. You have the device A and B. Those are the extremes of each device.
Mm-hmm.
You have port, fiber. So this is all the logic behind. So for example, SP, SP is a splitter. So you have, for example, a cable 2.1. This is cable 2, section 1, because you can have, for example, in star, the model is, imagine you have cable 1 and you have one pole here, you have another pole here, another pole here, and here you have a node, but it's there. Imagine there's a midspan joint here. You have the first section goes from here to here, so you have C1.1. This is C1.2, for example.
Okay.
Right, so this is indicated here. And also the port of the equipment, the fiber that goes from one side to the other, one node to the other. So all this is documented. And for the fiber connectivity, this is the report that PNI is used to import it.
Okay, but I don't see here any coordinates, GPS coordinates or anything.
No, it's no, because the coordinates are in this is a CSV file, and they are referenced through the connections, the identifiers. So for example, you see this? This is the splice closure.
Okay.
Number 3.
Yes.
Splitter number 1. So they are referenced, the connections are here. Although this is not a shape file, this is not a GIS layer, this is a CSV. Although in the CSV layers, for example, net splitters and net splice closures, you have these elements and they have coordinates when you export them.
Okay. Let's see when we export them what we get.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's net fiber connections. There are other ones. Yeah.
שזה העבודה הקשה.
Okay. There are a couple of things that, do you have any other question?
I think we have a few, but continue with your plan before we start shooting.
Okay. Yeah, another functionality that I might show here is this one. We have input. Okay, so I have here 20 and 24. And so that means that with one node, I can serve both of them. So what you can do is to merge nodes. For example, I can do this and use this tool, merge nodes and service area.
Okay.
So I select this one right click, I move it to the destination, and then okay, wait. I do that again. Okay. What is happening? Yeah, I need,
Okay.
I think the map. Okay, gonna try it again. We are here. Yeah, live demo. So let's see. Yeah, so merge the nodes. And if I look for service areas, input, now you see that they are here like this.
Yeah.
And I'm select the premises. So they should be connected. I'm gonna run it again.
Distance, yeah.
Yep, some of them might not be connected. Right, so indeed, so you see that now this is connected to this node. And yeah, there's a bit, more than 60 meters.
Okay.
Same here, yeah. So that's how you merge nodes. So obviously, well, you can create another pole or increase the distance. So yeah,
Yeah.
you
Question for you.
Yeah.
You have routing option after and before. What's the difference and how do you use each?
Generally, we use this option after routing because, okay, let's put it this way. After routing is you first create the routing, or the order is you create the routing based on the infrastructure, and then you create the clusters.
Ouais, les projets factures.
That's the way the algorithm works. It prioritizes the infrastructure first, based on cost or whatever criteria you have set, and then you create the clusters. The before routing is you look at your area, you first try to create the clusters, and then you look for the infrastructure. What happens? This after routing is the most used, and it's the one that, yeah, depending on the architecture, this is the way you want to build your network based on the infrastructure, and then you define the clusters and the parent nodes and all that. Sometimes the other option is more for rural areas, because, well, the nodes might be really far away from each other, and you need to group them in, the cluster first. But yeah, this is basically how, I don't know if that helps, that explanation, but it's the order. Here you prioritize the infrastructure and then the clusters, and here's the opposite. You build first the clusters, and then you take care of the infrastructure, obviously following engineering rules. The thing is that here, sometimes what happens when you have a dense area is that if you have, imagine a branch like this and a branch like this, and you have here some houses, okay, and logically you would connect them like this. What happens is that as you put after routing, you might create a cluster like this, and you would eventually in the connections here across cross buildings and all that. That is undesirable. What you'd like to have is the connection to this street, right? The green ones.
And this will be done with before routing?
Yeah, before routing, there's a risk that you connect the houses from, that should be connected to the other street, into the wrong street, especially when you're in dense areas.
After routing, so
Yeah.
it was okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, we stay with after routing at this
Yep.
point.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. What other tricks do we have on our let's try and create the feeder loop as we discussed yesterday on route. We have the pops marked, so let's try and get something there.
Okay, so I'm gonna open a new project, brand new project.
Okay.
Yes.
When we save a project file, not the project definitions, but the project file, and I share it with you, you will receive in the project file the definitions as well.
Yes, but I want, if you send the project, you have the design and it's fine for some analysis. But if we need to work with the input data, it would be better if you use it, if you send it with the input data. If there's something we need to do to check, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's better to send the SD brush because you have the the design and the modification and all that. We can see a design, something already run. Okay, so this is like you can play with this and you let me know how it went. So I'm gonna center lines. Okay, so let's play with this this one. Maybe I'll split in the intersections, and here in every into equal parts, let's say 30 meters. So we have this area. So let's say that I have here in the architecture, I'm going to create my pub 1. Okay.
Yeah.
And I place my pub 1 here. Obviously, if you have the location, you can import it as input. Yeah, I think here's one.
Small square.
Yeah, maybe we need some.
A little down, where you see the mosque mark. No, left.
Here.
Left. Yeah.
Okay.
Al-Salam. אז מה? אני עושה בדיקה עכשיו. אני לומד איך לתכנן.
C'est ce que j'allais dire. Après, il y a le déclaration, puis là, il y a l'entreprise. Et après, quand c'est
Up to.
sur...
תסתכל, הוא עושה בלבלים.
And I have my pub 2 here. Here.
No, a little at the top.
Quand c'est ouvert,
You need to scroll down a little bit. And to the right. More to the right, more to the right.
Here.
More. Follow the road and just scroll down a little bit. No, top.
Wait.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. You see where you have the red point?
Here.
Yeah, put it there.
Okay.
Just
לא משנה, Alex. And the other one you put
Damn,
in,
okay.
the other one you have is in 28, where we had the plant earlier.
Oh, okay. Here, right?
yeah,
Yes,
a little.
yes.
So I'm gonna complete for the sake of the example, I'm gonna complete this.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to create a route.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna put another pub. Okay. Where is it? Here, right?
Yeah.
Here.
It's here.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yes, I need to put also. No, I don't think I need to put a name on it. Yeah, okay. Maybe
Yeah,
the first one. Because the other ones are by name. So for the run, I'll put it by default, but this one is pub 1. Okay. So I have 3 pubs, and you want this, and is there a 4?
you can have a 4 at the bottom, where we have the connect. But you're missing the lines. So I mean, leave it like this. Let's do the calculation now.
Okay. So level 10.
Of 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
One is a simple level 10.
Okay. And I put a name here. Yeah. Yeah. And I put here mandatory. And mandatory.
Mhm.
I'm gonna put a cable.
Yes.
Ah,
Put a 96.
yes. So I'm gonna import the database from the other project. So I'm gonna look for, this is another way to import a database, because it's through a config file, right? So you have a config file with your project. I selected, and I have all my equipment.
Good.
So I'm going to put here midspan branch 90, this one, and a 96 cable, right?
No, only 96.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's fine. Okay.
And let's see. I want to check something first. So yeah. This can be connected. This cannot be connected. This can be connected. So I'm gonna draw a bit of infrastructure here. That's good. Let's see. Okay,
You press the right. Yes.
I did.
En général, quand tu donnes le go pour
Top
le
one,
facturation,
top
tu
three.
déposes les factures genre cash message.
Top 3 is not connected.
Yeah, there might be an issue here with the data.
Ah, there it is broken.
Il faudrait qu'on ait. Alors, je pense qu'il faudrait d'abord avoir
Okay.
validé un projet de facture pour pouvoir valider les
So
factures.
let's see.
Mais ouais, enfin, je veux bien.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have two cables, which is logical. So the first one goes to pop to this pop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tu veux vérifier le loin?
Let me reopen the map.
Les ciseaux, là, et comme tu veux. Comme ça me fait la main. Et puis après, je reconfirme avec
So this one goes to this pop, right? You see?
Mm-hmm.
Ouais,
Then the second one, I have
les
two,
27 et 53, c'est OK. Et
goes to the other pop,
Mm-hmm.
OK.
and
Ouais.
this one goes all over the way.
So you
Two.
have to because we close the loop. So basically,
If you had this, let's put this infrastructure. Yeah, it used the same one.
but if we would have closed, let's say from around,
Yeah.
let's see.
Somewhere here.
Les projets de facture, tu les stockes quelque part sur le serveur? OK. Et du coup,
Yeah. You see?
Yeah. Let's run again.
Yeah, I run it,
Ah, okay.
but it was so fast that you
Because
didn't realize. You see? Good. So there's one cable,
Mhm.
another cable, and the final one. That's how you tweak the system to get the ring.
Okay. And now assume
Oh God.
assume now that if I wanted to serve, let's say, area where you see 26 from pop number 1 on the right.
26. Where is 26?
You see number 26? Yeah.
Yes, here.
Yes. And I want to serve it from pop number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I need to, when you have the entry to the neighborhood, I need to have some sort of a break here. Yeah, break here, and then go in and do the deployment based on the points.
If you would need to import into your FTTH project this pop
Mm-hmm.
and the endpoints that are here.
Okay.
in this area. But why? What does it have to do with the ring?
Because I'm using the ring for connecting the pops and also running the drops to the neighborhoods within.
You mean the same cable or the same infrastructure?
Same cable.
Okay, so as I mentioned, same cable might be I mean because these are different levels. However, something that an approach, something that you can do is that you could run before doing separately. You can run your ring,
Mm-hmm.
and then for the FTTH project, you take this pathway.
Okay.
So how do you take this pathway? Well, maybe you see that I have a cable. I can import this layer when I export my ring. Let's say I export to I think it's here, training. Let's export it here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ring.
It will not take a lot. You can export everything.
No, it doesn't take a lot, but yeah, it's only for this example. And then in my FTTH project, so I need to open star. 1 second. I haven't saved this project, but well,
Ouch.
no, I didn't close it. So
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna save it as config.
Double click on the folder. No?
No, I'm saving the project.
Okay.
And then I'm saving it as SD project to save the design. Okay, so I open another star, and I'm gonna open the FTTH. I'm gonna open the config, so I won't modify the. I could have exported that ring, a cable in the input folder, but well, I will create, well, this is, the old one. I can create here like a, how do you call it? Like a ring cable or something. And I can import it as input for my distribution, the pathway. And you see, I have my cable, at least my pathway for this.
Yeah.
You can put also a priority, or you can say, well, this is the cheapest one, 10 or something, and then this will be taken instead of the aerial, for example, in this part of the network.
Okay.
So that's an option.
Very nice.
Bonjour. Je
Bonjour.
ne dérange pas plus, ça, je vois que je passe.
Yeah. Do you have any other challenge?
That was a very nice challenge.
Yeah.
And you met it, in flying colors. No, at this point, I think we are okay.
Mhm.
Il fait les envois maintenant.
Dima, do you have any more questions? Let's see if he has anything. No,
Okay.
nothing. What we suggest, we reconvene for the final part,
Mhm.
the 17, after Passover.
Yeah.
As we said.
Yeah.
And then, and then I meet you in FTTH.
Yeah, maybe the training is not a distance. Maybe it's already there in Madrid. If
Sure,
yeah.
right. We will start working, and if we have any issues, we will open tickets through support.
Yeah.
But I think we have a very good understanding about the data now and what we can do.
Mhm.
We will start running and see how it goes.
Sure. I will send you this configuration, basic one, but you can have the basics for the ring.
Mhm.
And I have written down some important points. I'll discuss with the team inside, okay? And to see what we can propose.
Very well.
Okay.
Very well.
Good. So I'll be here. Available, but then in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to travel with the company. So maybe there will be another colleague answering your questions, but well, I'll be checking, of course, everything.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
Good.
Daniel, this has been really, really
Thank you very
helpful.
much.
Sure. Anytime. You're welcome. Yeah. Okay.
And you will upload the training, right?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it right away.
Thank you very much.
Good. Perfect. Well, have a nice day.
You too.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.